welcome. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you making it today for Inside the Digital Marketer's Edge, Fireside Chat with me. The Digital Marketer's Edge is a 12-week course that BizHack Academy puts on here in Miami and that folks around the country attend. So my goal today is to talk to you a little bit about the course and the kinds of transformations that we see with the folks who take it. So I wanted to start by introducing you to 3 BizHackers. These are business owners who have taken the course in the past and had a great transformation during the course of it. Jewell Gutierrez is a business owner who runs a franchise of Mosquito Joes. And he would be successful, he's been successful in almost every one of his marketing efforts, but he hadn't yet figured out how to unlock the potential of Facebook. And by the way, I'd just request those of you for now, for this part of the presentation, just to put yourself on mute. And then we'll be taking questions a little bit later on. Neto runs a social media video marketing agency called VideoWorks Miami. And he was new to town and needed more clients. And Angela Otero was the chief marketing officer of a family-owned chain of dental offices across South Florida. She'd gotten her master's in digital marketing, but she really needed support implementing what she'd learned in the classroom setting to actually get results and attract new patients. So Jewell, Neto, and Angela are really typical of the type of business owners and mid-career marketing and sales professionals who tend to be attracted to and get the best results in edge course. So I wanted to take a second for each of you just to think a little bit about what is the challenge that you're facing right now in your career, in your business, that you're hoping or interested in seeing whether the Digital Marketer's Edge might help you with that challenge. What is it that you want to change about how you're currently doing your marketing or how your career is currently going? What do you want to accomplish before the end of the year? So I'm going to just ask you all to just take a second and think about how you would answer that question for yourselves. What do you want to get done before the end of the year? You know, we have a little bit of time left, and how do you want to make the most of that time that you have? So, and again, I'll just ask you if you could please mute yourself, just so that we don't hear too much of the noise coming through the line. Thank you. All right. So BizHack is designed to help people accomplish their goals, to help people take on that challenge and get done what's been difficult to do by themselves. Typically, when I ask this question of the BizHack participant, they say things like, I really want to grow sales for my business, or I really need to learn new skills so I don't fall behind, or I feel a little bit isolated professionally and I want to meet like-minded professionals. BizHack is specifically designed to help you conquer that challenge. And how do we do it? We do it through what we call the breakthrough campaign. So what is the breakthrough campaign? Over the course of 12 weeks, you'll build, test, and optimize social media ad campaigns with the help of one-on-one coaching and the support of peers. And over the course of this fireside chat, I'll explain to you what that means exactly. But at a high level, in this course, you'll spend money running actual ads targeting real people. And what's the goal of that? The goal is to get you breakthrough results. Now, for many of you, that means making more money for your business, driving leads and sales. But for others, it's about learning. It's about finding who your ideal target audience is online, or what's the best offer that's going to get people into the door. And then this is a little bit less tangible, but no less important. The goal of this course and everything that we do is designed to give you confidence that, yes, you can do this. Pretty much anybody who's over age 30 is what I call a digital immigrant. It means that they came to digital later in life. They weren't like my 6-year-old daughter, born with an iPhone in her hand. And so a lot of us sometimes feel inadequate or behind, or unable to pick up the newfangled technology as quickly as our younger peers. And part of the message that we like to send through this course and through the BizHack experience is, yes, you can do this. That yes, this technology can be learned and mastered, and that all of the other experience that you've brought to bear from the years of work that you've done professionally does matter and can be translated into the digital realm. So how do we get you these kinds of results? We do it through what we call performance-based change. So pretty much everyone who is attracted to BizHack is attracted because they want to make some kind of change, whether it's to try to learn new skills or make more money or have success in digital advertising where they haven't in the past. And deciding that you want to make a change is simply not enough. Even if it's with the best of intentions, change is hard. We're all busy. We're not going to actually be able to make that change unless we are forced to do. And that's really the philosophy of this course, which is everything is designed to help you overcome any technical or psychological barriers that you might have to start doing. And in this case, the doing is running ad campaigns. But what we have found is once you gain the experience and confidence that comes with running ad campaigns, every other aspect of the wide array of things you can do in digital marketing feel like they're doable because you've had success in this one area. So let's talk about what it means to run a campaign in the BizHack way. So we talk about in the class the 4 pillars, and we take you step by step how to build an ad campaign with these 4 pillars. Those pillars are: who is your ideal target audience and how do you find them online? What's the message that you can use to get them to want to actually interact with you and do business with you if they had never heard of you before? What is the visual you're going to use to be, as Facebook calls it, thumb popping, which is going to get them to stop scrolling through their feed and actually watch your ad? And we require folks who take the course to actually use videos because Facebook's algorithm preferences video, and because video tends to get significantly better results when you're advertising online. And then finally, what are you actually asking folks to do? What is the call to action? What is the offer that you want to give? And so these are the 4 pillars of every ad, and we take you through each of the pillars, and we show you how to accomplish those pillars and then test different kinds of audiences and messages and offers to get better and better results. The only focus of this course is online lead generation. It's the only focus of this course. We're not looking to educate you about the full array of digital marketing efforts. We're about generating profitable leads and sales for your business or organization. that starts, and the most important part, the single most important part, is identifying your ideal customers online. This is far more difficult and nuanced than it's often represented to be. It takes a lot of experimentation and quite a bit of coaching to help you find those ideal customers. We then take you through how to create ads, and we focus on 5 main platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, LinkedIn, and starting in 2020, you'll be able to also run ads in WhatsApp, which is a new change and something that we talk about in the course. And once you've generated an online lead, and by an online lead, we mean a phone number and an email address, we're going to then talk to you about how to follow up with those folks to actually turn them from leads to sales. And not only does that mean email marketing, messages, and phone calls, but it also often means retargeted ads that take people who've already shown an interest in you and hitting them up with another ad to keep you top of mind. So that is really the process that we will walk you through, what we call the customer journey, from identifying a customer to engaging them through a social media ad to following up with them through phone, email, text message, and other ads. And as part of the course, you only have 2 jobs: show up and do the work. There are 50 in-person instructional hours. All of these have digital equivalents that you can watch the classes or participate in the classes online. We have 11 Monday evening classes. On Thursdays at noon. At this time, we have webinars where we go into the technical details of what we cover in class on Monday and do demos of the actual technical platforms. Those Monday evening classes, by the way, are held near Midtown Miami, near Wynwood at BizHack's offices at 1951 Northwest 7th Avenue in Miami. You also get 4 one-on-one coaching sessions with your own marketing coach. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but this is one of the key aspects to the course. You have 3 Tuesday evening labs where you can work with the coaches and your peers on your assignments. We also have a business card mixer and a big public graduation celebration at the end of the semester. And the work that you're doing is broken up into 5 milestone assignments. One is clearing all those technical hurdles and getting onto the technical platforms. Second is really figuring out your email marketing strategy. Third is running ads on Facebook and Instagram, also Messenger. Fourth is specialized ads, including LinkedIn. And then 5th is your final presentation. And each semester, the participants in the course pick their favorite final presenters who then present at the graduation, which is a big public event with 100 to 150 folks who attend. These are the instructors in the course. Myself, the course founder, Tatiana McDaniel, who is actually an account director at Republica Havas, one of the country's largest Hispanic-owned advertising agencies. And then we have Gio Insinares, who heads up marketing, who's a technical marketing for the Related Group, one of the country's largest real estate developers. We have a really powerful ecosystem of support that we've developed to make this experience for you as supportive and exciting as possible. And the first and most important is your marketing coach. Each of you will be assigned your own personal marketing coach. That coach will work with you on your campaigns and make sure that you are doing them in the best way possible. A lot of times there is beginner mistakes. The coach will help you avoid those. There's also a lot of things that are very specific to your business that are a little different than other folks in the class. And the marketing coach is really about personalizing the education so that you get that breakthrough result. Then there are the peers. We have, the class is 30 people. We cap the class at 30. And your peers are some of the top business owners and marketers across South Florida and the country. And these folks have a wealth of experience and have tried a lot of things that they can then leverage and that you can try out for your own business. And it's across a variety of different industries, B2B and B2C. All of these folks will be sharing their campaigns and their learnings in the course itself. And then, of course, you have the more than 300 alumni businesses that have gone through this program over the course of the past 5 years. We have a really strong alumni network who give a lot of support, who end up hiring folks from the class and do business with one another in the class. And we have different social events and a private Facebook group where alumni gather and support one another. So part of what you're kind of buying into as part of the course is a network of peers who will remain a lasting asset and resource to you. And so with this mix of instructional hours, milestone campaigns, great instruction, one-on-one coaching, what you get is breakthrough results. So these are the results for the year 2019 so far. We have, as part of the BizHack program, 169 campaigns have been run. The total ad budget spent was a little under $14,000. They generated more than 1,000 leads with that advertising spend, 1,000 email addresses and phone numbers of customers who said, "I'd like to do business with you." And those leads resulted in more than $420,000 in additional revenue. That's a 31x return on ad spend. In other words, for every $1 they spent while in the course, they generated $31 in revenue. And just to put this in perspective, a lot of the money that these folks made actually happened after the 12 weeks of the course. They spent the 12 weeks learning, testing, experimenting, optimizing, and then the results came afterwards. This is just while they were in the course. This is week 12 snapshot. And if you actually look at it in terms of their investment in the tuition in the course, the average person has a 4.2x return on that investment. Now, you remember at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about a couple of BizHackers. So I want to talk to you about their experiences. So Jewell, as you'll remember, runs a franchise of Mosquito Joes Miami. He had spent more than $1,000 in Facebook advertising before the class, gotten no results. As a part of the class, during the 12 weeks, he sold 10 new customers after spending a little bit over $1,100. He realized almost more than $1,000 in revenue in those 60 days, but his projected revenue is more than $30,000. Because his is a subscription service and the average customer of his spends 3 years with him, the return that he got was extraordinarily high. He didn't make as much on the initial sale, but the lifetime value of that customer, which is really what we teach you to focus on, is a 30-to-1 return. Neto, who runs a video marketing agency, works with one of his clients is a school called the San Jorge School in Mexico. And the San Jorge School was having trouble filling up its K through 12 classes. They had had an enrollment of 35 students. After he ran Facebook ad campaigns for them, they increased their enrollment by 4 to 120 students. That is an increase in tuition of more than 1,387,000 pesos, which is a 243% increase in the tuition that they collect. All through Facebook advertising. And for a campaign like this, where you're targeting the parents of young children, those folks tend to be very, very active on Facebook. And so the way that he did this was finding those people who were looking for a different alternative for their their students, for their children, and giving them really compelling video and images. He specializes in video. And then finally, Angela Otero from Otero Dental Centers. She found success by running Facebook Messenger campaigns, particularly in Spanish, and interestingly, particularly targeting older folks, people 55 and older. You know, Angie is young, and so they saw in her almost like a granddaughter. And so as a result of these campaigns, she spent a little under $3,000 and made, while in the course, $150,000 in new patient revenue. And Otero Dental Centers is 7 different locations across South Florida, and this has really been a transformational experience for this business. And so I wanted to share with you a quick video from Dr. Otero, Angie's father, at our last graduation.
We've done TV, we've done radio, I'm in the BNI chapter. I'm looking for business everywhere. I'm like a little radar looking for business for my company. Because I got employees and I like to go on vacation and I got to pay the rent. So anyways, so we took this course, and this has been a game changer for my business. I mean, look into it. You guys have just finished a course. Keep on pounding it because it is out there. And the funny thing is that none of your competitors is doing anything like this. So go jump on it, because I'm going to keep putting money into it to get my return up, right?
Exactly.
So I highly recommend it. I'm very excited about it. I told my daughter, look, I want to go to the graduation. Because I'm so grateful. And thank you very much, Dan. I love you, brother.
So on the basis of helping out these 300 businesses and getting the kinds of results that we've been getting, we were named a top startup. Excuse me. We were named a top startup in 2019 by the Miami Herald. We've trained 5,000 business owners and professionals. We've led more than 100 trainings. We have 75 community partners, and those partners include some of the top educational institutions in South Florida, including FIU, Miami-Dade College, and Broward College. And I wanted to take a second and talk a little bit about how I came to run BizHack, and how you know, the BizHack has been personally meaningful to me. So in 2013, I was the news director at WLRN, and it was my dream job. I had spent my entire career as a journalist, and I had worked at NPR and the Miami Herald, and now I was running the newsroom at WLRN Miami Herald News. And suddenly and unexpectedly, I lost my job. And I found myself lacking the skills that I needed to be relevant in 21st century job search. There wasn't journalism jobs in town for me to get, and I needed to pick up quickly business skills. And I had identified digital marketing as an area that I really wanted to learn. And I found that it was, and I figured that there must be some kind of boot camp that I could take that would help me learn digital marketing. And what I found was that there was nothing like that. There was no boot camp for mid-career professionals or business owners to help them learn quickly online lead generation. I took online courses. It seemed just to me to be a lot of kind of too much information that I was having a lot of trouble absorbing. I needed a kind of a social element to the course. I needed some personal coaching to help me get through it. These other programs sprinkled mind candy and then kind of left me where I was, the same old, the same employees, the same problems, the same 400 new emails waiting for me in my inbox. And so I needed to figure out, how am I going to get started? And that is the problem that BizHack solves for you. It helps you get started, and it does it by creating a really supportive environment and a place where you can actually grow with the help of coaching and peers and great training. And I created BizHack in many cases because this is exactly what I needed, but didn't have back in 2013 when I was executing my own career pivot and trying to learn this hard but critical thing, which is digital marketing. And I never forgot that experience. Eventually, I got a job at a big billion-dollar energy company. I then joined a startup, but I never forgot the pain and the discomfort and the inefficiency of my experience trying to learn this stuff on my own. And so in 2017, having been teaching courses at Miami-Dade College in this topic, I was given an opportunity when my company was acquired to try something new, to start something new. And it was BizHack that I wanted to start, because I wanted to make sure that none of you guys on the other end of this line, on the other end of this webinar, ever have to go through the pain and discomfort and inefficiency that I did to learn this stuff. You can learn it, and you can actually have fun doing it, and that's what BizHack is all about. I wanted to open up the webinar now to your questions. So feel free to send me your questions via the chat, or you can unmute yourself and hop on in and ask any questions you might have. So Suzanne asked one of the most common questions we get, which is B2B. How do we handle B2B? So a lot of folks feel like social media advertising, both on Facebook and the Facebook platform and LinkedIn, is not really a fit for B2B, and that's not the case. In fact, about a third of the businesses that go through our program are B2B companies. Part of the reason why I didn't highlight them in the case studies is because the results that B2B companies get tend to take a little longer than the 12 weeks in the course. The sales cycles are longer, and the effort that it takes to find your ideal target customer are a little more involved. But I can tell you that without a doubt, B2B companies, both service companies and product companies, get tremendous results through social media advertising, which is really the focus of what we teach. The two single most important channels for B2B are Facebook, are LinkedIn and email marketing, and both of those are channels that we cover in the course. Does the course cover SEO at all, or only paid ads? So this course does not cover SEO. And the reason why is really simple. Our entire goal is to generate leads as quickly as possible. SEO, which means search engine optimization, is a topic that is incredibly important in digital marketing. We teach other courses, more advanced courses in it, but it is a slower burn. It's something that doesn't develop leads and results as quickly. And in our performance-based model, we really want to get you results quickly to not only generate revenue, but also to create confidence that you can do this. And then you take that and you build on it. Is the ad money, this is from Elbert, is the ad money that we are spending in addition to the course or assumed as to what we would spend this quarter? It's a great question. So the advertising money that you spend in the course is separate from the tuition, which is $2,500 for the 50 instructional hours we talked about. So you do need to set aside a budget for you to run ads. We recommend that that budget be on average between $100 to $150. That's really all that it takes in order for you to be able to run ads and learn the mechanics of running ads, and also be able to begin to get learnings and results. There really are 3 phases to running ads. The first phase is the mechanics. How do you actually set up the ad correctly? How do you have the Facebook pixel installed in your website? How do you create landing pages or lead forms to get people to give their contact information? What is the offer you're going to use to get the best results? All of these sort of technical questions we obliterate. We've solved those for you so that there's going to be no question at all, am I doing this right? Next is the learning phase. And for most people who take the course, that's what the $100 to $150 budget is really for. It's about learning what is the type of ad that's going to most appeal to my customer? How do I find them online? What's the video that's going to get them to stop and click? And that learning often takes up the bulk of the 12 weeks. And the goal for us is to get you through to that breakthrough. And that breakthrough is when you actually have a bit of a formula of what audience and what message and what video and what offer to give to actually start getting bottom line results. So that's really the goal, is to move you through that learning process. Now, that process, which we're focusing on with social media ads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Messenger, applies to Google ads, it applies to Amazon ads, it applies to Pinterest ads and Twitter ads. Any type of ad that you run, you're going to need to use this same 3-step process. And frankly, any type of digital marketing you do is a design do. You put out something, you learn from it by analyzing the results. And one of the key things that we talk about in the class is how do you interpret the results to come up with an actionable next step. And so we spend a lot of time talking about analytics, where we actually walk you through the analytics platform and teach you how to derive understanding from it. One of the biggest things that hangs up early marketers is that they don't know how to actually read their dashboard. They don't know what the analytics actually mean. We had a question, is this program beneficial if I have a business that has direct advertising legal requirements? And is it possible to focus the social media ads to be an education campaign to get the potential leads? Those are 2 great questions, Nexi. So a lot of different industries have limitations on the kind of ads that they can run. Facebook has imposed recently serious limitations and restrictions around housing because they actually were the losers in a class action lawsuit against some of their housing advertising practices. Any type of nutritional supplements or healthcare or political campaign that you're going to run also has different requirements and different limitations. These are the things that we cover in the one-on-one coaching sessions. We help you sort through the landscape of your particular industry and give you a sense of what what is required of you. The second question that you had is it possible to focus social media ads on an educational campaign to get the potential leads? Absolutely. So we don't call it education. What we call it is awareness. So step 1 is you want to generate awareness about your business through a video ad. And then step two is once you've gotten people to know a little bit more about you, your product, your company, your organization, we then show you how to retarget those video viewers to get them to actually give you their telephone number or share with you their email address. So it's really a two-step process. The first step is to generate awareness or educate them, and then the second step is to ask them for their contact information. We like to say that you don't get married on the first date. It's one of the things we talk about. So when it comes to selling to strangers, which is really what this class is all about, you got to start with giving folks information about you and who you are, and raising awareness of your company before you can actually go and try to generate that lead and ultimately that sale. We have a couple more questions here, and please guys feel free to throw in your questions as we move through these. You've mentioned email marketing. This is from Alex Artiga. Does this course go into automatic email marketing flows and how to best benefit from email campaigns, etc.? Alex, that's a great question. So the latest best practices in email marketing is what are called nurture campaigns. So the idea is that you get a series or a flow of emails that take you along on a journey. So for instance, when somebody signs up for your email list or basically becomes a lead, you really should have a welcome email ready to go, of course, but you also should have a series of follow-up emails for folks who open that email or don't. And that welcome email sequence is one of the things that we teach in the class. What are the elements of that sequence? And we ask you to actually write out your welcome email sequence and have it all ready to go before you start spending money on ads. We actually use class 3 to talk about email marketing, even though email marketing from the in the order of things is in the later part of the campaign. And the reason why we focus on email marketing is because early in the semester is because you really need to think through why you're doing what you're doing and what destination you want to take them to before you actually start spending a cent on ads. Too often we see folks who do kind of ready, fire, aim. And so by forcing you to think through your email nurture welcome sequence and what you're going to do when you generate a lead, we're able to make sure that every cent you spend counts. I'd say a big part of the reason why we get really good results is because we force you at the beginning of the semester to think through your customer journey and what you do after you generate the lead. Too often folks start generating leads and they don't know what to do with them. One of the things that we talk about in the class is the only thing worse than not generating leads is generating too many leads. And the reason why is because you need to have your sales process, your operations process in place for when you start to generate those leads. And by spending a small amount of money and doing it in a controlled way, you're able to make sure that your sales and operations, your the people who are actually selling your customers and the folks who are going to be servicing those new customers are lined up for when you actually begin to turn on, open the spigot and really generate a lot of leads. So we definitely have time for additional questions. One of the questions that I often get is, I know what you're saying probably works for other people, but it won't work for me. And I hear this all the time. There's sort of a sense that this technology is too difficult. It's really for young people. I'm not a digital native. I'm not quite sure how to do this. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, you can do this. It might take a little bit more effort to overcome some of the technical and psychological barriers, but none of this is too difficult to learn. Going back to the SEO question, one of the reasons why we don't start in this course with SEO is because SEO is extremely technical, or at least portions of SEO are very technical. And in many cases, I don't recommend learning SEO to every business owner or every marketing and sales professional. That said, I do feel like learning Facebook is, and social media advertising is necessary for any marketing and sales professional, whether or not they're going to actually do it, for any business owner, whether or not they plan to run their own campaigns or hire someone else to run those campaigns for them. Really, this is a course that's designed for executives, for business owners, and high-level marketing and sales professionals. This is not an entry-level course, and this is not a technical marketing course. We're trying to use, through our performance-based change philosophy and approach, we're trying to use Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads as a mechanism for you to learn how to be and think like a digital marketer. And we've done a lot of research into how adults learn. Adults learn by doing. If you don't do it, if all we're doing is sprinkling mind candy and telling you nice things to know, you will forget it within 2 days, the studies show. Our brains are not as plastic as they used to be. As we get older, it becomes harder to develop new skills, harder to learn new things, harder to change our behaviors. This course is specifically designed to use the breakthrough campaign to help you change your way of doing business and the way that you're conducting your career. That's really the goal here, is to use the campaign to drive change. We have a question from Maria De Pena. What kind of creative mediums do you advocate? I heard you said video. Absolutely. So about a year ago, Facebook made changes to its algorithm to really preference video over all other types of advertising formats. And the changes were so dramatic, and the difference in results were so stark between people who were advertising using static images or carousel images and people who were using video, that we changed the curriculum to require you to actually run ads using videos. We don't give you a choice. But what we do is we give you a free tool that allows you to develop your own videos in under 30 minutes without the help of a professional. And this program that we use is easy to use and really helps solve for making video that are going to be getting you the best and fastest results. One of the things that this course does is we make a lot of choices for you. Because we have been doing this for 5 years now, first at Miami-Dade College and now as BizHack Academy, because we've had 300 business owners go through this program, we have a tremendous sense of what works and what doesn't, and we're really able to leverage those learnings to make sure that you're just doing the best and most efficient things. There does not have to be unproductive learning. The learning that we want you to do is about which messages and which offers and what kind of videos get the best results. We don't want you to have to experiment with different campaign objectives or different types of creative to learn lessons that we've already been able to learn and share with you in the past. So Lilia asked, could you talk about the one-on-one coaching sessions? The one-on-one coaching sessions, which are really the hallmark of the learning experience, when we do a survey at the end of the 12 weeks and ask folks, what was the aspect of this course that was most valuable to you? Without a doubt, it's the one-on-one coaching sessions that people talk about. And the reason why these one-on-one coaching sessions are so powerful is because the material that we cover in the Monday classes, the Thursday webinars, the Tuesday labs, really only is 80% of the battle. That material is relevant to all businesses, but there is that 20% that we don't cover in class that is the difference between running an unsuccessful campaign and having your breakthrough campaign. And it's that 20%, that gap between where we get you with the classes and getting that actual breakthrough result, that's where the one-on-one coaching comes in. And so what you do with your coach is you work on your campaigns with your coach. You make sure that they look over your shoulder, that you're setting it up properly. They help you interpret the results, and they give you ideas about what to do next based on their own extensive experience in running campaigns. Our instructional team, on average, run more than $1 million in Facebook ads a year as a collective. And so we have run literally thousands of campaigns ourselves, and we've coached hundreds of businesses on how to run campaigns. All of that knowledge you get as part of the course material and in the one-on-one coaching. James asked about the importance of video. For smaller companies, making quality videos can be expensive. Does the course cover the most cost-effective way to create videos? Never mind, you just answered my question. We really understand, James, the financial limitations that you have as part of being a small business or a nonprofit or a mom and pop organization. There are no software fees. We recommend MailChimp for email. You can also build landing pages using MailChimp, and MailChimp actually offers is free if you have under 2,000 subscribers. And so MailChimp is a example of our philosophy of not requiring you to spend more money than you have to until you're ready. I'm a really big believer that you shouldn't spend a lot of money on a website. You shouldn't spend a lot of money on a fancy agency until you have put something out there that you've built yourself and gotten a little bit of experience and gotten a little bit of feedback from your customers about what works and what doesn't. So I built my own website for BizHack in half a day over one weekend when I was starting the company, not because I was particularly good at developing websites, but because there are free or inexpensive tools out there that you can use to build websites, to build landing pages, to run email campaigns. And I definitely recommend you start there before you hire experts and spend lots of money on a pretty website that might not actually be a website that will convert your customers. Any other questions from folks? We have a few more minutes to take them. Another question that I get all the time is, or an objection I should say, is I don't have the time for this. If you're a small business owner, that is pretty much the mentality you bring to almost anything. And if you are working in a marketing or sales context, God knows you're extremely busy. The question is, how are you currently spending your time, and do you need to make changes in order to get the results that you want? And BizHack is not extra work. BizHack is, and the Digital Marketer's Edge is designed to complement and support the work you already should be doing. This is not a course to learn. This is work that you're doing. And so we build the course into your day-to-day work, into your day job, into your current professional work, so that the time that you're spending on it is not time away from your business, it's time working on and in your business. Another time, folks, people will say, I don't have the money. And I understand that the course can be expensive for folks who are, you know, trying to build a business for themselves or are living on a salary that might not meet all their needs. The reason that the course costs $2,500 is two things. Number one, it this is a professionals course. This is a course that's not intended for dabblers, for career starters, for folks who kind of want or would like to learn this stuff. This is a need to know course. And this is a course that in part we qualify you by your willingness to invest in yourself and in the course. And you saw from the results and the returns that we get that BizHack gets outsized returns for those folks who put in the time and do the work. And we feel that in order to get that kind of return, you need to invest in us, and we certainly invest back with you. Now, if there are challenges that you have coming up with the full course fee, we do offer installment packages, and I can talk about that with you privately offline. Another thing that folks often talk about is, I really want to do this, but just not now. And I would ask you, is this a delay tactic to defer work that you know needs to get done, or is this something that you're just, the timing really isn't right for personal or professional reasons? To me, the way to think about whether this is the right time for this course is to think about the results that you want to get and when you want to get them. So we're here talking about this course a little bit past halfway through the year. So if you're looking to drive results on real campaigns and to have significant change happen in this calendar year, then you should not defer this. If you're okay deferring it for 6 to 8 months, and that the results that you're looking for can wait, then it might make sense. But the majority of people that I speak to, you're on this webinar, you're watching this because there's some change that you want to make, and there's a change that you want to make now, and we are going to help you with that. And deferring the class might be a form of deferring that change. And I will say that there is never going to be a perfect time to take this course. It is a demanding commitment. In addition to the instructional hours, which average about 3.5 to 4 hours per week, there is a few hours, 1 to 3 hours a week on assignments that we're giving you working on your breakthrough campaigns. So you do need to have 5 to 7 hours dedicated to this course. And if you put in that time, you will get the results that you're hoping to. Are there any other questions that anybody has? Feel free to text me if you do have a question. I wanted to just kind of, I just texted you guys. I wanted to close by going back to where we started, which is, I want you to really think about how you want to make a change. Do you have the tools that you need to make that change? Do you have the support that you need to make that change? I just put a link in the chat to schedule a call with me. I'd love to have 30 minutes to talk and explore what is the change that you're looking to make and whether the course would be a fit for you. I really appreciate all of you guys and the time that you spent with me today at this Fireside Chat. I realize Fireside Chat with all of my books in the background and no fire, but this is South Florida. But I want to wish you guys all the best, and I look forward to our conversations. I'll be following up with each of you to schedule a 30-minute conversation to see if the upcoming course is a fit for you and for your goals. So thank you very much.